So now I'm falling back with this force and fighting here. I can destroy them. I've got an engineer. These guys are falling back. There you go. I've overrun the enemy here just about. Not completely, but I'm going for some vital structures.
Battle control initialized.
Hello there, comrades and cannon fodder. It's Dvoid here. I've got a 1v1 multiplayer game, and we're on Scorched Earth for this one. I'm in red using Russia, and my opponent's in purple using Russia as well. I'm up here in the top left. My opponent, obviously, in bottom right. And Scorched Earth map, I've featured it plenty of times. I like this one. And you've got the central area here with 2 oil derricks and a hospital. It's a very contestable area, this one. Usually, I capture the first oil derrick here, and then go for this one. And capturing the hospital is dependent on the situation. I send these rifles here to make sure my opponent isn't going straight for my oil derrick, and send a couple of rifles here, although nowadays I usually send 1 here and 2 here. But they move forward and advance and secure the oil derrick for the engineer while they're at it. But I may send my riflemen this way, or 1 this way, 1 this way, and 1 this way in future. It's an important area, this central area, and capturing the hospital. Now it's useful for Soviet players because you don't have medics, but later in the game, now when you're rushing units across the map and stuff, if you control this area, it's a large amount of view range and you can see enemy unit movements across the centre of the map. So it's an important area, this, not just for the early game, but all the way through. Here we go, my opponent's going for this, but I've got the view range advantage. My opponent's got the numbers, but yeah, that's no good. Now I'm sending these riflemen to look for the enemy engineer, and my engineers here should be going for this oil derrick, and my opponent they're going for the second oil derrick. And this rifleman, I've got 2 here. Now this is drawing attention. He should defeat that guy. No, he got away. Well done. But this rifleman has caught the enemy engineer, look. Perfect. Absolutely spot on. So my opponent's got 1 oil derrick and I've got 1. My opponent has got the hospital, but I'm about to capture my second oil derrick. And let's look at production. We're both building our war factories, but I'm ahead by a fair bit, by the looks of that. Nearly about 27 seconds ahead, which is a considerable margin at this point. That's the time it takes to build a tank or something. But my opponent's got an engineer there, immediately replaced their engineer. And I've captured my second oil derrick. My opponent is just about to start capturing their second oil derrick. Now, you can attack from the sides of this area, like I've said before. Here, you can attack from either side, and you can't see the engineer, but you can see the oil derrick flashing if it's being captured, and then you can blind fire at this area. I've got my scout vehicle. There's my engineer, safe and sound. So we've both got 2 oil derricks, but my opponent has the central ground with the hospital. Sending rifles to investigate, and my opponent's engineer is going back to base. Its best bet is to keep your engineer somewhere out of the way. And an enemy scout vehicle early on can scout your base and check if you're going for a tech build or something, and they can easily pick off an engineer while they're at it. Didn't even take out the rifleman. Scared him off. Let's just have a look, see who's got the larger army value. Me, by a little bit. And they're attacking my oil derrick. And now it looks like I'm being indecisive. So now my opponent has 2 oil derricks, I've got 1. Still slightly ahead in army value, I am. My opponent's got a flak truck and an APC. It's a nice combo. like the Ranger light tank combination for allies. This is the Soviet version. You've got a nippy flak truck that's good for providing view range, and it can hunt MCVs as well. But the APC will screen rifleman attacks, screen your infantry from riflemen, and the armour will bounce those bullets. Go on, get rid of it. Oh, the flame tower only got one shot off. Oh, very close. A single rifleman could finish that guy, could finish that flak truck. And will it be finished off by this? Let's see who wins. Yes! The rifleman won. And he's a veteran. I'm impressed. Man of the moment. This guy surely is. Right, now my opponent's tracking my expansions with rifle guards. But I've got a force here escorting the MCV. Now this force here, I'm waiting for an enemy expansion. My opponent's going this way. Now, let's have a quick check at army values. 13,000 to me, 5,000 to my opponent. That is not good. Not good for my opponent. Don't know what's wrong with them. And I've expanded here as well. Got my first expansion set up, so I need an eco transfer. Just sold a refinery. I guess I've got power problems. Yeah. No, I've got plenty, so I wonder what that was about. Maybe I've just placed a power plant, I don't know. 16,000 army value to me, 9,000 to my opponent. And I'm still sniffing around for an expansion. Got this eco transfer set up nicely. Got my tanks on the way. My opponent's got tanks arriving. 17,000 army value to me, 10,000 to my opponent. I should have taken this by now. Here we go, bringing tanks into position, and we've got an engagement. Bringing the MCV forward. APC for some extra screening. My opponent's expanding nicely. Let's see if they're getting a refinery. We both are, so I'm probably going to place one here or here. My opponent's thinking of placing one here. Let's have a look at some army values. 21,000 to me, 12,000 to my opponent. So like I say, I'm shocked that I haven't finished this, and I should have my army in one big mass and just smash them. I don't know why my opponent's struggling for army value and why I haven't made them pay for it. And now retreating in this situation is a big mistake. That's blown it. 22,000, 20 to me now, 13 to my opponent. So these forces are running, and it looks like I'm gathering the rest of my force. Everything for my opponent is here. And even after that defeat, I'm still well ahead in army value. 20,000 to me, 14 to my opponent. And here's an attack force moving in. Because I'm thinking, well, my opponent's probably got all their units here, so I'm going to hit them here now. My tanks are being drawn away, but they shouldn't do that. Get in there, do damage, and there's my opponent reacting. So this force should now hit here. There we go. I should have attacked this force between both of these. I should be attacking now and arranging this force into a formation to resist. Because I could destroy some of these units piecemeal, but I need to stay back. Look, my opponent's splitting his army. There we go. So now I'm falling back with this force and fighting here. I can destroy them. I've got an engineer. These guys are falling back. There you go. I've overrun the enemy here just about. Not completely, but I'm going for some vital structures. Now I'm falling back. That is bad. I've destroyed, you know, some power and an important structure, and they're not even in low power mode. And now they're attacking here, but I'm ready. I've got this force ready to defend. That was, to be fair, that's a bit of luck. on my part, on my behalf. Is that the right term? It's a bit of luck for me. But look at that, got taken out, wiped out. I'm surprised. This should be running away quite quickly now. Run away. Get primary production there, yes, and these tanks to help screen. Come on, run away. You can make it. You can make it. Keep going. Now, it shouldn't stop there. See? Big mistake. And look, my opponent still hasn't attacked. And I'm fighting here. I've got my hands full, and that's why I allowed that to die. Big mistake. Now, this force is moving away. See, I've got problems. I'm losing it. Now, my opponent's got 12,000 army value. I've got 11. So that, what I did there and here is how you blow it, and how you show. That's a good example of what they call a throw. See, my units here following this force. So these guys have been brought out of the game. This force moving, trying to go on an eco raid. 14,000 army value to me, 13 to my opponent. And if I have to, I can fall back and expand to here. But I haven't got a refinery set up there. So yeah, we've got this force here. And we're going on an eco raid. Look, my opponent's preparing for an attack. And they are responding here. Yeah, causing a bit of mayhem with a few tanks, and here's an eco raid from me now. Look at those rockets. Get rid of that at least. Yes. Now these should run away because look how many there are there. Now this is a lovely intercept. Very nice. And I've stopped this mining operation here. These guys, look at that. They're going to stop them, and my opponent was very smart to stop there. If only I had one vehicle, I could have killed them all, look. Look at that, that's force fire. They daren't move forward. Such a small force can take on all that with the defender's advantage. You see how now my tank should be in a screening position. I can kill these piecemeal, but not when I'm being surrounded on both sides. But these are escaping. And now I've got this attack force again. It's only a small force, but there are no ore trucks to attack. Now this force is still on the move, but I thought, no, I'll go back and attack here again. Although, yeah, they're not. They're actually going this way. Strange. I'm sure I considered that. Now my opponent's got tech and a 19,000 army value. I'm at 13. Now they're at 20. And there you go. Look, I did. I turned back to attack here where I thought, well, the enemy's not going to expect that. Now this force could also go back here. But we've got a large force attacking. They've got V2s. I've got very little at my base. Now, I've fallen back here for an expansion. But my ore trucks have taken a beating. Look, I've cleared that expansion. This one is just being set up again, but I've got another eco raid on the way. I've got 2 ore trucks here. That's it. So we're both... Let's have a look at the economy tab. We're both... In fact, I've got more ore trucks. And it's just leaving this vulnerable that has been bad. Very bad for me. Now I'm losing my radar dome. So no thieves were in effect, but there's another eco raid on the way for me, look. And I'm trying to decide how to catch this force here without committing my army and wasting them. Look, we've got a V2 harassment. And there, I'm losing my eco raid. It stopped them mining, look here. And these tanks, look, are getting pulverised by a rocket squad, an anti-tank squad. There we go. And the planes will spot everything as a V2 finish my tank off. But look, they've taken my base out. And they've taken out this expansion. So I'm falling back to reinforce this here and try and do some damage. Now, I could attack and overrun this base, and then we'd be in a fairly even situation, but I can't defend this, look. I've got no assets to defend it. And I'm building APCs to back up what few heavy tanks I've got. I've got a nice amount. So I'm going to try and hit my enemy here. There's a couple of V2s, very bad, and they've got 4 heavy tanks, so it's probably enough to hold me with base defences and production. And look, V2 strikes. Now I know I can defeat this force here, and there's an engineer who's about to die. But look at that, these forces are arriving. This army's arriving. There's an air force of 5 yaks, so now I've got to retreat. Save my vehicles. There's a lot of value in those 5 heavy tanks and 2 APCs, and it's a decent little mobile force. These APCs can kill infantry. The tanks can stay mobile and kill ore trucks and things like that, structures. And there you go, I've got an attack here. Luckily my APC on site is going to protect them. Hurry up. Kill the 3 rocket soldiers that are doing some heavy damage. There you go, got rid of their oil derrick. And look, this V2's being a pain. And now there's a large force from my opponent. I'm still sort of holding on to this area. Lost my entire home base. And there you go, I'm hunting the V2, but I can't stop this force with heavy tanks. The best thing to do is get the heavy tanks to screen base defences. That's the best option for defensive fighting I've got. And now I've bought a service depot. I can't build tanks now because I've destroyed my war factory. I can build infantry and I'm out of cash now. My opponent's up to a 36,000 value army. Lost the service depot. I'm at 7,000, so there you go, I've called it. And I should have finished that. For the first 20 minutes of the game, I had it. I should have taken control properly and finished them. I don't know how I bodged it, how I blew it. I'm not sure at all, but I did. I managed to blow it somehow. But fair play to my opponent. When they actually got tech employed, aircraft V2s, then they overwhelmed me once I'd done that. It's just bizarre how I didn't crush them. I must have been half asleep or something, that's all. So there you go, there's a game for you. And this isn't a very recent game, this is from about a couple of weeks ago. This one, I've been saving it. So I hope you enjoyed this game. If you did like it, give us a sub and a like. And thank you very much for watching, everyone. Take good care of yourselves. And for now, goodbye.
Battle control terminated.